Hi and welcome to my video on these Christmas opening fairy door card toppers or journal inserts. In the kit you get enough to make 4 different doors and you get words, and you also get these lovely little fairies that pop inside the doors. You can do all sorts of different things with these. Like I say, you can use them as journal inserts or even journal toppers. This one I've mounted onto black card. It's a really nice solid feeling card, this one, and put on some sympathetic card with the words also mounted on the black card, and inside I've got this lovely little fairy that will pop out. This one here, I've attached my fairy with a bit of ribbon and some eyelets, so she's dangling on the outside. You can also print out extras of these and use them as your gift tags if you wanted to send these as greetings cards. And inside this one we've got a little Christmas tree insert there. This one also does have, this one also does have a little tuck spot down the side here. So there's all sorts of different ways you can treat these little beauties. So let's go ahead and have a look at how we put those together. So here are the printables for this Christmas fairy door card topper or journaling card kit. There are the fairy doors themselves with these little sparkly words. There are the fairies with these Christmas trees, and both of these sheets I've reverse printed with the backing sheet that you get in the kit. Now these I've done on 250 gram card, which is £92 cover stock. You can go a bit thinner if you like. And this sheet here are the backing cards for the fairy doors. And I haven't reverse printed this. If you're using these as journaling cards, then you may want to reverse print this sheet, but if you're using them as card toppers, then obviously there's no need to. Okay, I'm going to cut those out and we'll get cracking. So here are my pieces cut out. I've played about with a couple of them off camera and I'll show you those at the end. And I'm going to cut out the door shapes now. This one I've already done because I'm an idiot and I pressed photo rather than video on my camera. So I didn't get that one, but the process is exactly the same for all of the doors. We're going to crease down the hinge side of the door, and your doors will all be a little bit wibbly wobbly down this edge. Ignore the wibbly wobbly, you want a nice straight line. So line up your ruler with the edge of your page, make a crease line all the way up this edge of the door until you get to the bottom of the door curve. And then you're going to cut all the way along the bottom of the door. By all means, use a ruler if you want to. I'm rather gung-ho with my cutting. And then come straight up this door side, again using a ruler if you want to. And then all the way up and around the top of the door, ignoring all of this fancy stuff here that can go on the top of the door. Cut all the way around. Until you get to the end of this curve here where your crease meets the bottom of this curve, and then you can, hopefully it's all popped. There we are. Go over that bit again. And you can make your crease into a fold. And there's your door. Ink your edges if you want to lose that white paper edge, or leave them if you prefer, it's up to you. And there's your opening door. Now these backing panels here are designed so that these little stars will peep through when your door is opened, and I'm going to glue these on in a specific way. I'm not going to glue this whole area, I'm just going to glue a narrow seam of glue just around the very edges. You can do this on the back of the card, on the back of the door if you want to, or on this panel here. And you'll see why I'm only going to do the edges in a minute. And then pop that in place like that, and let that dry. And now these pieces have had a chance to dry, I can go ahead and pop my fairies in. And there's lots of different things that you can do with these cards. This is just one option for you. Pop a fairy in the door. You'll find with a lot of them, you'll have a little bit of a peekaboo here where the fairy maybe doesn't go in all the way, and that's why we just glued right around these very edges, because we need space to pop those fairies inside. And if you want to, you can lift this piece up very carefully and pop your little bit of excess fairy under there. Slide this along a little bit so your fairy sits more in the middle like that, and you've got a good flat closure. You've also got these options to pop the Christmas tree inside as well. So that's that with that. And we've got another fairy here. Let's see how she fits. She just peeks quite nicely out of there, and I've got the candy canes to go with that one. Now I've messed about with these words a little bit. I've cut one of these words that says Merry Sparkles, but I've cut that down a bit. I've inked the heck out of it to disguise the little bit of writing there, and I'm going to put a brad, not a brad, one of those other things, an eyelet through there. And I'm just playing now for the sake of having a little bit of fun, which is lovely. I think I'll go for the gold one. Seems more fitting for Christmas. Now I can do these individually, I think I will. So I'll set to with this wonderful, wonderful tool. There we are. So there's my hole. Beautiful. And these will then sit, hopefully quite nicely, in my bulb pin. There we are. Lovely. And my candy canes have fallen out, but that's fine. I can tuck those under this other side. I can even use those to keep her in place by tucking that one on top of the fairy. So there we are, that's complete. I can use this as a journaling card. I can glue this into the spread of a journal. I don't even have to use these backing sheets. I could just glue the door straight on and then use the backing sheets as journaling cards. All sorts of options. But this one is going to be made into a card. I didn't reverse print any of my backs. So that's that one. This one is going to get glued into a card quite simply with one of these little words underneath it. And here are two I made earlier. And I've made two cards here with a couple of different options, and obviously you feel free to use these printables as you wish. So there's all my four together. These two here are cards that I particularly love. There goes something. I particularly love this one. I've mounted it onto a piece, matted it onto a piece of black card, and the same with the word as well, and put it on a piece of really nice sympathetic coloured reddish paper. I've got my fairy inside. I've tucked her in using that method I used for the other one, just lifted that up slightly, and your recipient will be able to take that out. How they put it back in again is up to them. And I've also got the Christmas tree here. Now with this one, I've also got a tuck spot, and you could do this if you're making journaling cards as well. And this one just has the Christmas tree just sliding in there, just another option for you. So that's that one. Really nice and weighty because you've got quite a few thicknesses of card on the go here. I love that. That's going to be the Christmas card for my mum. And this is going to be the Christmas card for my best friend, because I'm very stingy with this piece of ribbon. I bought this piece of beautiful ribbon, a length of it, oh gosh, about 15 years ago when I was out with her, and she knows how stingy I am with this piece of ribbon because I love it so much. So because she's got a little bit on the corner of her card here, she's really going to appreciate that. That'll make her laugh. And this fairy I've attached in a similar sort of way as I've attached this one, with a piece of ribbon rather than the bulb pin. And then I've got my Christmas card. I've got my Christmas tree inside the card. Now these panels measure 3.5 by 4.5 inches, which will fit on A6 if you're using international paper, which is 1/4 of A4 and will also fit on 1/4 of US letter sized. Now the envelopes, you need C6 envelopes if you're in the UK, and you need, I think, A2 envelopes if you're in the US. I'll just check that out. Yes, it's A2 envelopes. So there we are. Here are my card toppers, all complete. And they look really, really lovely. I hope you enjoy them. Wishing you a very, very happy Christmas ahead of time, and I'll see you soon.